What's up guys, Ronaldo here and welcome, and today we're gonna take a closer look at the buffed Elddr, see how much of an impact these buffs have had on him, is he viable in Malrik trials and so forth. Gonna go over the buffs specifically, what they changed as well, and let's start off with what they changed. So first, what we need to know, the talent is still the same, the Lord skill is still the same, but we have a few changes here and there. And that is, first up, the biggest one is going to be his normal attack, right? His normal attack is now 2 tile range, finally, and hits up to 5 enemies. So he is now an AoE unit. Then his ultimate has been changed as well. Now previously it was increase attack and max HP by 50%, and he gains Thunder Aegis, grants allies of the same faction Elddr's talent temporarily. The ultimate lasts for 20 seconds. That was his previous ultimate, okay? Now it only gives attack without HP, and Thunder Aegis has been changed as well. So previously, Thunder Aegis gains a shield equal to 10% of max HP per second, stacking up to 100% max HP. Now he gains shield equal to 20% of attack per second, stacking up to 200% of his attack. So 200% attack instead of 100% HP. Now we have here attack bonus, attack bonus, attack bonus. Okay, so let's take a look at our stats to just see how it approximately works out. So now if we would run the same stats previously, we would have gotten a 45,000 HP shield. Now we get a 48,000 HP shield instead of previously. So the shield difference is not really that significant. It's not going to make that much of a difference, is it? Then we go into his passives. Now his passive, Storm of Retribution, first up. Previously, basic attack had a 20% chance to trigger Thunder Hammer, dealing 250% extra damage. Now, basic attack has a 20% chance to trigger Thunder Hammer, to dealing an extra 250% damage. If the hero has no shield, Thunder Hammer has a 40% chance to grant a shield equal to 50% attack for 10 seconds. So another shielding ability. I really want to go into this now, because previously he didn't have this either. Really want to see how well he can survive. And then Thunder Protection is basically still the same. When taking damage, gains a shield equal to 60% max HP and increases damage by 30%, lasting for 10 seconds. This effect can only be triggered one time every 35 seconds. Now previously, this extra passive effect that he gains here, a bonus shield whenever he's not shielded, was in his A1, locked in his A1. Now his A1 gives adjacent allies also some shielding instead. So instead of needing his A1 to be consistently shielded, his A1 will be able to shield your allies. So with that, let's just try him in Malrik trials, see his damage and then also see his survivability. Let's go into this one right here, see how this gonna work out here with our boy Elddr. We have 2 tries, which is nice. Alright, so the first thing I want to test is how well he does damage to these guys. How well does he deal damage to these guys? And see if he can actually take them out here, just as some of these other premier AoE DPS can pretty easily actually. So let's see his damage. Let's increase his attack and see his damage. He does deal a good amount of damage. He gets the job very easily done. Am I tripping, or this is good damage? This is good damage right there. That was pretty solid damage right there. Okay, hold up. It might be better than I expected. Now, this is solid. This is pretty solid. I think that looks pretty solid here. He's not got his ult up at the moment. He's dying here. But the damage looks solid. The damage looks solid. Let's see the survivability. Alright, let's see it again. Let's see again how he can survive. or how well he can tank while dealing damage. That's something I want to test here as well. It's because the damage seems solid, right? Now, if he's able to take care of the damage and take care of the tanking, that's something gonna be, you know, that I want to find out. So we're gonna pop the ult here. Right, his damage comes in. There we go. Oh, we have a leaker because we don't have enough block, but that's okay for our testing here. So for this side, he can easily take care of the tanking. That is something that we can already tell here. During the ult, he can easily take care of the tanking. Now without the ult, we'll have to take a look, of course. We'll have a look. He seems to be able to, if we don't pop the ult, not tank that well. But as soon as we pop the ult, he's basically immortal here. And there we go. Comes the big damage from him. And he's very reliant on his ultimate. But during the ult, he seems kinda immortal. I want to see how well he can perform up here or down here when these enemies come in that hit hard, if he can kill them with his ultimate or not, if he has enough damage, and if he can survive, right? That's something that I want to check, because in terms of the AoE damage, he looks solid. Like he gets the job done. He survives here as well. It's better than I expected for sure so far. And let's take a look at how well he performs now if we put him into some heavy hitting scenarios like these guys on top. Oh, let's get right into it. Let's see how well he can tank these guys on the sides. So we're just gonna put in our Valara here. She'll take care of it. She will take care of it. These units like that. Thanks to Cyrus, we have reduced costs. Put her here. See, now we can kind of see the direct comparison actually to the Valara in this spot. The Valara does an amazing job as well, but they both get the job done. You know, that's the key thing here, is that both of them get the job done. Right? Both of them without their ult pop though don't deal that much damage. And hold up, is my guy gone taking that much damage when he's not in his ult? Is it really the case that these guys hit hard and Elddr was just able to sustain just like that? He's built like that. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, here come the big wave. Now I just want to see how well he can deal with the heavy hitters. So let's let the Valara do her thing here. And then see where he spawns. Hope he spawns sometime soon. Yeah, the Nesha damage is really neglectable without ult, but once the ult is popped, damage is insane, right? Does he have... There we go. Now let's see how well Elddr can take care of that when his ult is popped. So, oh, we interrupted an auto hit of his, but we'll have to see. So his ult makes him basically invincible. That's for sure. But his single target damage is non-existent. We take a closer look at this. His single target damage is non-existent. Right? But he is able to tank quite well. He's able to tank very well, actually, thinking about it. Just standing up there. Look at him. No healers hitting him. Hold up. He's just perma shielded. He's just perma shielded. Again, pop his ult and he shields himself all the time. Very interesting. We built him full damage, by the way. We built him full damage. He's able to tank very well. Of course, there's a Wukong on top of that. Providing a value. Oh my god, we got cooked down there. I wasn't aware. But he's tanking very well. Super well. There was no... Like there was no healer. There was no healer at all up there. But his single target damage definitely is not it, right? That's what we can tell from that. So since we lose our keystone and energy anyways, we can just go out of here. But wow. I'm genuinely surprised from that. From how well he tanks. I'm very surprised from how well he tanks. Now, since he tanked so well, I want to see how well he can tank here in Epilogue. Can he tank in Epilogue? Because these guys hit like a truck. These guys, these Stormwalkers, they hit like a truck. These guys, the range guys, they hit like an absolute truck. And I want to see if he can survive against that. And how well his damage is against that. So let's just find that out right now. So these guys come in. We're gonna put tank in here. So she got one tapped. Is he gonna get one tapped as well? Basically we didn't get his ult out, but let's see if we get his ult out, how it's gonna look like then. If he can survive it. So we have this. And we will put in our AoE as well. We'll have to. So now he's already tanking a little bit here. I don't want to... Actually, I don't want to use any DPS. I just want to see him perform by himself. Right? See how well he performs. And he seems... Look at this, guys. He's tanking it. He's doing it. No? He's doing it. He's tanking them. He tanked and killed them. Hold up. This guy is way better than I expected. Especially because you need to consider, look at my Eloin build. That's a hella bad Eloin build to heal. And he still was able to tank them. They deal massive amounts of damage. So yeah, he was able to survive with just full damage gear. Now the Gon, of course, he shouldn't die there. He shouldn't die there, and I checked the gear previously, and he had suboptimal gear. So keep that in mind. The Gon is not going to die with proper gear here. But the and also he was not a Lord, of course. But the Elddr, being able to survive these guys, two of these guys coming in during his ult and able to kill them, that is impressive to me. That's very impressive. And I think his use case is going to be more of a PvE menace for hard stages. A lot of people were hoping, you know, for Northerners, for boss content and so forth, but I feel like Northerners are just not made for boss content, especially now with this change. It really shows the direction they're looking at with the Northerners. And I can definitely see the Elddr being used in a similar way to Valdern, where you can just drop him in somewhere and he will take care of that wave by himself without dying. This is super valuable for the Valdern. Now the Valdern, of course, does way more single target damage, of course. But the Elddr has a bit of a better time surviving over a longer period of time and does consistent AoE damage and a good amount of AoE damage. I was very surprised because something I forgot to mention at the beginning is they also increased his attack interval. They also did increase his attack interval, so you won't be able to get him as low in attack interval as previously. but I didn't really feel that much of an impact, and I think he's definitely more of a unit like that. More of a unit that you're gonna use in something like the gear dungeons, where it's gonna be a lot of fiddling and finding out ways. In campaign, in Malrik trials, and so forth, I think he's gonna be great. But for boss killing and stuff, unusable, as we were able to see there. If we wanted to use him up there in the Malrik trials to solo take care of one wave, well, he was able to tank, but he would not deal any single target damage whatsoever to that unit. He just doesn't have the capabilities to be able to nuke someone single targetly. But he's super tanky. His damage is way better than I expected from these changes, and I think it's great. Now, is he gonna be game changing, meta changing whatsoever? I don't think so. But the buff is definitely way better than I expected from reading this. And I think it's mainly that extra damage and also his survivability being that high. And he has definitely his uses. But let me know what you guys think. On that note, I'm very surprised about his survivability from this, and also his ability to deal actually quite decent AoE damage. And with that, that's already all from my side. Make sure to like and subscribe for increased summoning luck. And with that, I'm Ronaldo. I wish you a blessed day, and I'm out. Peace!